Greetings everybody, I'm raw food chef Chaya Ryvka from thelivingvision.com here on behalf of Living Tree Community Foods, and I have another stellar recipe to share with you today. It is getting really close to summertime here in Northern California. The last couple of days have been hot, and I've been craving a milkshake, so I thought I would show you a really easy way to make a delicious, thick, icy, creamy, cool, wonderful milkshake, highlighting some of Living Tree Community Foods' wonderful ingredients. Number one, we're using their raw alive almond butter that is never heated. It is actually sliced for days until it turns into a creamy, sweet, thick nut butter that you are sure to love. We're also going to use their coconut nectar, a low glycemic sweetener that comes from the coconut palm, their amazing vanilla powder, and I've been highlighting the French table salt, so today I decided to use the Ale Hawaiian red table salt, which is a wonderful mineral-rich sea salt. Then we're also going to be using their mulberries. Living Tree Community Foods has a whole variety of bulk dried fruits and other ingredients, including cacao nibs, cacao powder, maca powder. So this milkshake is a cocoa mulberry maca chip milkshake. Yum! And it's really tasty. So without further ado, let's just get started. So you want your high-speed blender, and it's very likely you could do this in a regular blender, but I don't have one of those, so I'm using my high-speed blender. And we will start out with our half cup of dried mulberries. Now, if you are going to be using a regular home blender, I would recommend putting those in your water. So we'll be adding a cup of water to this a little later. If you wanted to just soak your mulberries in that cup of water for an hour before you make your milkshake, then your blender will probably have a much easier time blending that all up. In the high-speed blender, you don't need to do that. So then I'm going to be adding 1/4 cup of Living Tree's amazing creamy, thick, and delicious almond butter. Yummy. And since we're doing sticky stuff, I'll go ahead and add our coconut nectar to this. And that gives it a nice malty flavor. So you could actually call this a kind of a mulberry malt milkshake if you wanted to as well. I would say both the coconut nectar and the mulberries have a really nice caramelly type of flavor. And they're both really mineral rich, so this is a very mineral rich milkshake. So to that I'm adding a couple tablespoons of cacao powder and 2 teaspoons of maca powder. So we've got some powerful hormone balancers, antioxidants, just some really good stuff, not to mention really tasty stuff. Okay, and then finally I want to add some of our vanilla powder. What's chocolate without a little vanilla? And I'm going to go ahead and add a whole 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla powder to this. And then a bit of salt just enhances the flavor. It also enhances the mineral absorption, which is nice. And it's just gorgeous. So I'm putting in about 1/8 of a teaspoon of the high mineral sea salt. Okay. Now as you see, I left my nibs alone because if we blend this all together with the nibs, then those nibs are going to break down so much that you don't feel any texture. It will just be really chocolatey, even more chocolatey than it already is. But the whole idea of a cocoa mulberry maca chip milkshake is that we have some little chips in there, and I really love that texture. So we're going to save that to the very end. And then what I want to do is add 1 cup of some high quality purified or spring, if you have, water. And you do want to make sure not to add more than this in terms of water, because once we add our ice, we want it to thicken up and be icy like a real milkshake. I'm looking for that thick, icy milkshake consistency, and I know you are too. So just 1 cup of water, and then we'll add our ice at the very end. So I'm going to blend this all until it's really creamy. We want those mulberries to be completely emulsified, and then we can go on to our final steps and, of course, taste this delicious milkshake. Okay, it's creamy, it's delicious. You see I brought out my ice cubes. This is 1 entire tray of ice cubes. And in case I feel like I missed a couple of the measurements on ingredients, and I want you to get this right so you can taste it as it is supposed to taste, because it's really good. So we're using a 1/4 cup of our almond butter. We're using 3 tablespoons of our coconut nectar, a 1/4 teaspoon of our vanilla powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of our high mineral sea salt. Then I added 2 tablespoons of cacao powder, 2 teaspoons of maca powder. Was there anything else? And 1 cup of water. Now we're adding 1 entire tray of ice cubes. No runaway ice cubes. And you want to make sure not to over blend it, because we want it thick, like a real milkshake. But you want to blend it enough so that your ice cubes are fully broken down. So it should just be nice and thick. And as you see, I'm still going to hold off on putting my nibs in. We'll just throw those in when it's almost done. So let's get our ice cubes going. When it sounds like they're mostly fully broken down, then I'll add our cacao nibs in. Okay, this is looking thick, thick, thick. And don't you think I forgot about the measurements on our cacao nibs. We have 6 tablespoons of cacao nibs. And this sounds like a lot of ingredients, but I'm giving you a recipe that will serve 2 to 3 people. So make sure you have a friend around, because milkshakes need to be had right away, right? Okay, so 6 tablespoons of our cacao nibs. And I'm just gonna stir that up a tad bit. Okay, now we're just gonna get those broken down so that they're the perfect size, and then we will pour a glass so you can see how beautiful this milkshake is. Okay, that seems just about right. You see I even have to tap it a bit to get it to move. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's pour a nice glass. Here we go. That is beautiful. Okay, I guess I'm going to give you a little close-up before I taste it so you can see how beautifully thick this milkshake is. Okay, here I go. Cheers. Oh my gosh. If you or a loved one loves milkshakes, traditional white sugar, cow's milk milkshakes, then you are going to be so happy that you tried this recipe out, because it will become your super healthy, mineral-rich replacement, and you will live and thrive. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, I'm raw food chef Chaya Ryvka from thelivingvision.com, here on behalf of Living Tree Community Foods. We hope to see you again. Try it out. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this recipe and this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.